In this video, I'm going to be giving you my top do's and don'ts when visiting Disneyland Paris. Make sure you make the most of Magic Hour if you are staying in a Disneyland Paris hotel. Magic Hour gives you access to the main park for 1 whole hour before the park opens to the general public, and you can cram loads in. The park is really quiet except for guests that are staying at Disneyland Paris hotels, and when we went in May last year, we managed to cram in loads each morning that we did the Magic Hour. We even managed to get on Peter Pan in less than 5 minutes, which is unheard of when the park is open to the general public during the day. So make the most of that Magic Hour if you can. Have a game plan. Know what you want to do each day. Set yourself out a little itinerary before you want to go, or create a little bucket list of things that you'd want to do or definitely get done while you're in the park, and stick to it. Don't make it a really rigid plan, but have an idea of what you want to achieve while you're there. So if it is meeting Mickey Mouse in his beautiful long black coat in the main pavilion where you can meet Mickey Mouse, pop it on there and stick to it. Or if it's hitting up the really popular rides, so Big Thunder Mountain, Phantom Manor, or even something smaller like Peter Pan's Flight, which are really popular rides at Disneyland Paris, get them on your game plan and get them ticked off while you're there. If you have any other do's and don'ts that you use while you're in Disneyland Paris, drop them in the comments box below, as I'd love to hear them. And please consider subscribing. Make the most of single rider. Now hear me out. If you're traveling in a family and, like ourselves, our girls are not quite tall enough to meet the requirements for some of the bigger rides, so Indiana Jones ride or Hyperspace Mountain, they really want to do it, they're just a teeny way off at the moment, and myself and my partner want to ride those rides, we're not going to get into the main queue and queue for over an hour to go on a ride. The remaining 3 of us are just walking around the park doing what we want to do. So hit up the single rider line. That queue is normally way shorter than the normal queue to a particular ride. Or if you're traveling as a couple and you don't mind not sitting next to each other on a particular ride, go in the single rider line. You will be able to cram in loads more rides while you're there. Don't feel like you have to eat in all of the restaurants at Disneyland Paris. It can be really expensive. As and where you can, use a quick service restaurant or take your own food. There is a dedicated picnic area within Disneyland Paris which you can use, which is situated by the main car park, or go into Disneyland Village and go to a restaurant that is more budget friendly. The main restaurants within Disneyland Paris are a really good experience but can be pricey. Get savvy with the Disneyland Paris app. Download it prior to your holiday and link your booking as soon as it allows you to do. But just download it to get used to it. Find out where certain rides are, use the map. On the app also, it will give you up-to-date queue times, so it gives you a rough idea of what your holiday is going to look like before you go. You can also book your restaurant reservations, so use it before you go and get used to using it before you're there. Don't underestimate Parisian weather. When we went in May last year, and it was at the beginning of May, it was scorching hot. So just be prepared. Do a little bit of research on the weather apps before you go. Winters in Paris are freezing, so you do need those layers to keep warm. And then in the summer, it is really hot. Find a spot where you want to watch the parade early. Sit down in that spot and reserve your space. The earlier you get there, the better viewpoint that you want for that particular parade will be yours. So sit down, reserve it and wait it out. Take some snacks with you, go on the app and do a little bit more research on other things that you want to do, look through photos that you've already taken while you're in the park, and just enjoy that little bit of relaxing time while you're sat down and reserving your spot for the parade. The shows at Disneyland Paris are a must do. Don't skip them. They don't take up too much of your time while you're in the parks, and you will thoroughly enjoy them. My personal 2 top favourites while you're there are Mickey and the Magician, which is breathtakingly brilliant, and also Disneyland Paris's version of The Lion King, which is Rhythm of the Pride. Amazing. The songs are, it'll just blow you away. Definitely go and see the shows. Take your own water bottle. This is going to save you a fortune while you're there, but also if you just happen to be in a queue and it's really warm weather and you need a drink, and save exiting that queue that you may have been in for a while, just pop a little water bottle in your bag that you can refill while you're in the park. So either using the fountains around the park, or within your hotel if you are staying on site, or in your own hotel if you're off site. Dress up while you're in the park. When else can you walk around wearing mini ears? I know I would if I could all the time. Do it. You're in Disney and it will add to your experience. Don't go full costume. It is not allowed in Disney Park if you're an adult, but you can Disney bound in so many different ways. And I did a couple of different outfits last year and I'm planning on doing a few more this year and theming them to the princess dresses that my twins will be wearing while I'm there. So I'll match my Mickey ears to their princess dress or a top that I want to wear. Leaving making your restaurant reservations to the last minute can be a bad idea if there is a particular restaurant that you want to do. So Bistro Chez Remy or Captain Jack's, these are really popular restaurants on site at Disneyland Paris and the reservations go really quick. So as soon as you are able to make those restaurant reservations, book them or book it and then have a think about it, and if you don't want to do it, cancel it so someone else can get that spot that you don't want, but please don't leave it till the last minute. Just avoid that disappointment. Golden hour at Disneyland Paris. It's just as the sun is setting and it will illuminate the castle and all of Main Street, and the whole park just becomes tinged with a beautiful sunset. So don't miss golden hour. Meet a character. You're in Disneyland Paris. When else are you going to be able to meet Mickey Mouse or give Stitch a hug or high five Goofy? Nowhere. So meet a character. It's part of your experience and they are so lovely. So don't be worried or intimidated by it or not sure how you're going to act when you get face to face with Goofy. Let the character take control of the situation and your meet and greet, and you will have a magical experience and loads of photos. And also ask them to sign an autograph for you. When we went back in May, Goofy made a point of looking at our girls' t-shirts to see what their name was on there and popped on the little signature that Goofy loved Scarlett and Goofy loved Sienna, and it just makes for a magical memory for the girls to keep for the rest of their lives. Make a list of who you want to meet, check on the app where they are in the parks and what times they make their appearance, and go and meet a character. You won't regret it. So if the park is at capacity and it's really busy, or if there is a parade on at a certain point and you don't want to fight your way through the crowds who are watching the parade, or it just happens to be a busy day and you're trying to walk down Main Street and you're trying to get somewhere quite quickly, use the arcade just behind the shops on either side. They're a covered walkway and genuinely quite quiet. So if you are in a mad rush or you need to get somewhere, make use of them. You will move along Main Street a lot quicker. I hope you found this video useful. Please consider subscribing for the latest news, reviews, hints, tips and trips on Disneyland Paris. And please check out my next video on top tips on how to skip the queue at Disneyland Paris.